Hello friends. They say that motherly love doesn't listen to reason and it is impossible to sway it. There is truth to this statement since so many mothers are willing to put their life on the line just to bring happiness to their children when he or she is in need of help. Sometimes you hear such incredible stories that you really can't help but wonder about just how powerful motherly love can be. Olga Boskovic was born in the Serbian village of Musik in a family of shepherds. She had a traditional childhood in a small village where everyone knew each other. Even in her youth, Olga knew that her intended was a neighbor boy named Dejan. Nothing foreshadowed trouble, but unfortunate circumstances intervened in the young woman's life. She got pregnant at 17 and expected Dejan to smile joyfully when she told him the news. Instead, Dejan did not behave righteously. He told her that he had to go on a work trip for several days, but never came back, essentially running away from Olga and their child. Olga continued hoping that he would return, but deep down she began preparing herself for the hard times ahead. Knowing the local population well, Olga understood that she would have to bear the burden and stigma of being a single mother her entire life. What was even more painful is that when her relatives learned of the groom's disappearance, they too were against the baby. Thanks to Olga's strong character, the baby did end up being born. All the stress that she had to go through, however, took a toll on the baby's health. After her son was born, the doctors gave her upsetting news. They said that the child had cerebral palsy and that he would for sure never be able to walk. Olga's relatives insisted that she abandon the baby, but nothing could stop her from bringing her child home. It was at that moment that her trials had just began. In the end, Olga's parents did let her and the baby live in their home, but that's where their goodwill ended. Instead of offering her love and support, all they did was allocate her and her son a room in a dilapidated barn. This, however, was no obstacle for Olga. The 18-year-old girl named her son Predrag, which means precious in Serbian. This was a very intentional decision. She understood full well that he was her only real family, whom she would love and care for her entire life. Each day was a test for the young mother. In addition to the responsibility of raising a child, she still had to do all her previous chores if she wanted to continue living with her parents. Despite his illness, little Predrag gradually acquired communication skills and was interested in the world around him. Olga was ready to go to great lengths to give him a childhood similar to that of other kids. She really wanted her son to interact with his peers and to develop mentally. Not even the fact that the nearest school was very far away could stop Olga from achieving this goal. Every day, she carried Predrag on her back for 10 kilometers through the mountains. In this way, she knew that she was doing everything possible for her son. Many people would have been cursing their fate in such a situation, but the selfless mother did not even think of stopping. The loving mother continued carrying Predrag to school until he got his high school diploma. She worked hard to set up her life in a way that would work for both of them. After enduring all that ridicule and stigma, she knew that nobody would ever marry her. As such, Olga found a way to successfully combine her work and Predrag's upbringing. Mom shared her whole life with me. I would even go as far to say that she lived 2 lives, hers and mine, said Predrag. For years, Olga tried to find suitable hobbies for her son. In time, she was able to find one. Despite the fact that Predrag had limited use of his legs and one arm, he learned to work with wood at an already mature age. He was able to learn to carve beautiful figurines, which he gave to friends and small village children. He also made different wedding gifts. Over time, the village people started to respect Olga for how hard she worked. Perhaps they understood that she was not to blame for being a single mother. One could only admire and adore Olga's resilience. Even today, the noticeably older woman continues to do everything by herself, despite the fact that she is already 78 years old. At this respectable age, she continues to carry her 60-year-old son, who is now noticeably larger than her. When talking about her difficult life, Olga smiles and doesn't regret anything. I have long ago grown accustomed to doing everything alone. Probably that is how fate intended it. To this day, my goal in life is to enable my son to live comfortably. His smile is my reward. Olga understands that there will be no one to take care of Predrag in such a way after she is gone, but she doesn't despair. Many years have passed since Predrag was born, and fortunately, society did change. Now, instead of being subject to ridicule and judgmental glances, Olga is considered heroic. Despite having no support, she still managed to give her child a normal life, similar to that of children without disabilities. This once again demonstrates the power and strength of motherly love. Of course, things could have turned out differently. If her boyfriend wasn't such a coward and didn't subject her to all that stress, perhaps she would have given birth to a healthy baby. Despite all this, Olga is a real fighter. The journalist who came to speak with Olga promised to help resolve the matter of state assistance to her son. But as they say, time will tell. In the meantime, Olga continues to carry Predrag on her back every day and plans to live for many more years. At first glance, this is the story of the most ordinary family, of which there are many thousands in the world. But still it shows just how valuable a mother's love is. Appreciate and value your mothers. It is likely that no one else loves you like them. Friends, how do you feel about this selfless pensioner from Serbia who carries her son on her back every day? Make sure to share your opinions in the comments. That's all for today. Rate the video if you liked it, and see you soon. Bye.